We are also now getting it, recording in progress.
Yes. So just accept it.
Yeah.
Namaskar, everyone, and welcome to this platform. This is a platform where I just started with Lakshmi. Met Lakshmi after so many years in
Yes.
Pune when we had the Golden Jubilee celebration of our MDTC. And that's when Rama was there, Mrs. Subhash was there, Anjali was there, and Lakshmi. We were just sitting in Lakshmi's guest room, and we were chatting. And that's when I discovered that she has so much of knowledge when it comes to our Indian culture and heritage. And we were all giving our inputs. And that got me thinking, why not give a platform to such beautiful ladies who have such brilliant mind to come forward and just share their views on whatever they feel like, whatever is close to their heart, whatever makes them, think about it. So most of you know Lakshmi very well, but she's given me a short introduction of herself. So let me read her biodata. So she calls herself Lakshmi Annapurna Theragunta. I don't know whether it's
Yerraguntla.
Yerragunta. So she's hailing from Andhra Pradesh, and right now she's in Hyderabad, and she's done her schooling from Sharda Vidyalaya in Madras, and she was sharing a lot of views about her school and Ramakrishna Mission School also. And she is an MA, she's an MPhil in history. And that's when I asked her, when she was talking so much about history, I said, are you somewhere done in history? She said, yeah, I've done my MPhil in that from Madras Christian College, which is presently in Chennai, okay, and worked in a junior lecturer in history. I mean, wonderful. She's a teacher. So, so she's so here's about this is about my friend Lakshmi, and won't take any much time. This is just one word. This is just a 40 minutes. We've already finished, I think, 15 minutes of our time. So the moment it gets cut, it just go back to the link again and join again, right? So we have to continue, and we need to listen to what Lakshmi has to say. Continue, Lakshmi.
Namaste to everyone. I am Lakshmi Annapurna. First, before I start, I want to thank Neeta Ganguly. It is her idea that we should have a webinar where I should speak. And so my first thanks is to Neeta Ganguly. Thank you very much, Neeta. Now, यहाँ उपस्थित हुए सभी लोग के लिए मेरे प्रणाम। मैं सबसे पहले सभी को धन्यवाद कहना चाहती हूँ, इसलिए कई लोग यहाँ पर उपस्थित हुए, उसी से कई लोग मुझे जानते हैं, कई लोग मुझे नहीं जानते हैं। नहीं जानते हुए भी आपका समय मेरे लिए दिया है मुझे सुनने के लिए, इसके लिए मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ। प्रयास है और इरादा भी है पूरा की पूरा हिंदी में ही बात करने की, लेकिन वेबिनार की जैसा प्लेटफॉर्म में पूरा हिंदी में बात करने की हिम्मत नहीं हो रही, इसीलिए सभी को इजाजत हो तो I will switch over to English. Now, coming to the actual subject. First of all, when I say about English language and its influence on Indian languages and Western culture and its influence on Bharatiya Sanskriti, Indian culture. Let us not understate the importance of English language in the present day India. It's our link language in our country where we have linguistic states and one of the official languages and also the medium of instruction in very many schools and colleges, even universities all over the country. So, if we don't learn English in the present day in India, we lag behind in competition. So, if the need of the day is to learn English, we should learn English well and we should also teach our children English. Having said that, I have a question. How did this language, English, gain this much importance in our country? Everyone knows the answer, a simple answer, during British era. During Governor General William Benting's time, around 1829-35, around that time. His council member, Macaulay, it was on his suggestion that Governor General Benting introduced English as medium of instruction in higher education, leaving the primary education to the vernaculars. Since then, English gained momentum in India. The British wanted to westernize Indian society and they used English as a tool for this. And English started gaining momentum in India. If you ask me, it started spreading like forest fire in independent India more than in British India. By the time we got our independence, we lost our Gurukulas. The Gurukula system of education was brought to an end. I am not going into detail why it was brought to an end, who did it, how did it, when did it. I am not going into such details. But the fact is that we lost our Gurukulas by the time we got our independence. Our strength lay in two things. One is our Gurukulas, which imparted knowledge not only in religious scriptures, but in various subjects, all sciences, mathematics, and various other subjects. So first thing is Gurukulas. The second one is the closely knit, the closely woven Indian society through cultural values. But by inviting English language full-fledgedly into our life, in every walk of our life, we broke our backbones because it influenced, English language has influenced native languages, and our backbones are broken. We have to straighten our backbone. From the time a child goes to school at primary level and comes back from the university as young adult, he or she is fully English, believing in talking English both at home and outside also. It is this pride that, with this pride, we welcomed English language full-fledgedly into our house, into our lives, make a pardon. There is a problem. It pains me when I hear some people saying that I can express myself better in English than my mother tongue. It's really painful to hear such thing. Because as a matter of fact, probably it is right. Because probably you grew up in a neighboring state where you did not have enough opportunity to learn mother tongue. Or maybe your mother tongue was not, your second language was not mother tongue in your school days. There can be any number of reasons why you may not be knowing your mother tongue very well. फिर भी ये बहुत अफसोस की बात है. One has to learn mother tongue at some point of time, not only speaking, reading and writing also. So maybe as a matter of fact, even if it is true, but it pains me when I hear someone says that I can express myself better in English. It is this pride and fancy for English language. Because of these two reasons, we have given precedence to English over Hindi language as link language in our country, Bharat. Here I am not bringing Sanskrit into picture because Sanskrit को अंदर लाना थोड़ा दूर की बात है. So no mention of Sanskrit here. But certainly I want to make a mention about Hindi because it is Indian language and it's halfway through and the language more widely spoken than other Indian languages. First of all, it is Indian language, Hindi, and English is not Indian language and it's a foreign language. And we forgot the fact that English is a foreign language. And it's also true that when we say, I can't speak English, we feel shy to say that. When we have to say that I can't speak a particular foreign language, we don't feel shy at all. But when it comes to English, we forgot the fact that English is also a foreign language. But certainly we feel shy to say that I can't speak English fluently. So with this pride, that means accepting a cousin as cousin is a problem, but accepting an outsider as cousin is not a problem. The apprehensions in inviting English are not there. There are fears in accepting Hindi, the Indian language, because no need to have such fears. The fear, first of all, is that if you accept Hindi in states, Hindi may spread its wings in states, influencing the state language. There is no need to have such fears because I am a clear-cut example for that. I am a Telugu-speaking woman, grew up in Chennai, that time Madras, and my education took place completely in Madras, present Chennai. And I can speak Tamil very, very fluently. But I can speak my mother tongue much better than Tamil. So all that you need is to learn in the first place and speak at home as a matter of principle and ensure that your child speaks only mother tongue at home. So then there won't be such fears and there is no room for such fears. Otherwise also, I want to ask a question. Is it all right if English influences the state languages? It has already done its job. English has influenced all Indian languages. Is it all right then? Apprehensions only with Hindi, not with English? Why? And Western culture through this English language. As I stated before, the British wanted to westernize Indian society using English language as a tool, and Western language has shown its effect on Bharatiya Sanskriti. It has affected. It has caused a dent to Indian society, Bharatiya Sanskriti, and we have to remove this dent. The two things that we have to do is, first of all, we broke our backbones by welcoming English language too much into our lives, and we have to straighten our backbone. And second thing, we have to remove the dent that has caused to our Bharatiya Sanskriti by the influence of Western culture. When we say Sanatana Dharmam, it is not old-fashioned. Sanatana Dharmam, our Dharmam is called Sanatana Dharmam because we are practicing age-old traditions from the time of first cosmic cycle, namely Krita Yugam or Satya Yugam, down to the line up to Kali Yugam. We have been practicing the same old traditions, hence the name Sanatana Dharma. But for sure, we are not following in the same fashion or the same manner. Lot of transformation has taken place because Sanatana Dharma believes in Sanskriti and Pragati going hand in hand. That is what it believes, that means it believes in transformation, giving the name changing Yuga Dharmas. That means transformation. So that is a must, and we have transformed. And we have to change with the changing times. Otherwise, we lag behind. If all of us lag behind, the country also would lag behind in competition with the world towards progress and development. In these Gurukulams, all subjects were taught, not only the religious scriptures. For example, when we say the gravitational pull, We close our eyes and say, remember the name Sir Isaac Newton. Why the name instantaneously, Bhaskaracharya's name doesn't occur to our mind? So, the other thing, Ganita Shastra, Aryabhatta, Khagola Shastra, that is astronomy, Varahamihira, and Panini, grammar, Patanjali, Ayurveda, Charaka, medicine, Susruta, surgery, Viswakarma, architecture. In this way, so many scriptures were taught alongside the religious scriptures. But unfortunately, we are unable to establish the fact to the world that Bharat is the pioneer in teaching all these, what we are calling today modern sciences to the world. Because we lost most of the sources and evidence, which we have to bring them back. On the day we are able to bring them back, we will certainly prove to the world and ascertain to the world that Bharat is the pioneer from ancient times in teaching these modern sciences to the world. It is important to establish the fact, because if today someone asks the question, who invented the aeroplane? Everyone says and everyone believes, right, brothers? Is there anyone who remembers the Pushpaka Vimanam which is mentioned in our Puranas? Is that not the original concept for the aeroplane, the Pushpaka Vimanam which flew in the air? Even if we say so, or even if we write in the exam like that, it is not appreciated because everyone believes it is the Wright brothers who invented, although there is a mention to Pushpaka Vimanam in our Puranas. So what I want to say is that we have to bring out the sources to establish ourselves before the world and ascertain, yes, that we are the pioneers in teaching all these subjects, in referring to all these subjects. There is a reference to all these subjects in our Puranas. That is a must. So, sciences in Sanatana Dharma. There is science in Sanatana Dharma in every walk of life. All those who are present here, if you ask them, each one of them would be able to give one example as to how science is involved in Sanatana Dharma. All of us know. So as a result, I'm not going into too much of details about what is this science that revolves around Sanatana Dharma. But specifically, I want to give 3 examples. The first example is that technology which the world has not talked about so far. And no, none of us have heard from the world about this technology, mention it or show it to the world that there is some kind of this kind of technology. I wonder if they know that this kind of technology has a reference to in our Puranas, especially Mahabharata. I am talking about that technology which was involved in the making of Maya Sabha of Yudhishthira. The word itself, Maya Sabha, indicates that it was an illusionary world where there were illusionary ponds, real ponds, illusionary walls, very thin walls unseen to the naked eye, and real walls, leading to utter confusion as to which one was real and which one was illusionary. In this confusion, the Duryodhan in Mahabharata fell into the real pond, thinking that it was an illusionary one. It's a different subject, but here what I am talking is that technology which the world has not talked about. I don't know whether they are aware of this Maya Sabha and what this technology talks about Maya Sabha. And even if you are, first of all, as I said, we have to bring back the sources to establish ourselves. Even if we are unable to establish ourselves in the worst scenario, but definitely we can claim credit and merit to show that these references are there in our Puranas about Maya Sabha, Pushpaka Vimanam, and the few things I am going to talk about now. The other 2 things, especially the one which I am going to say now. Of late, there is a lot of talk going about transgender surgery. Even this subject is not new to us. There is a mention of this in our Mahabharata. Please remember the character Sikhandi, who was born as a female and turned into a male in adulthood. Whether it happened through surgery or the chamatkar of Sri Krishna Paramatma, Prabhu Sri Krishna Paramatma, we don't know. But this subject featured in Mahabharata. Why I am asserting about this character is that some portion of Mahabharata thereby later on revolves around this transgender character. So even this subject, of late what we are talking as modern science and modern surgery, modern medical sciences, that is also not unknown to us, Bharat, our Puranas. Yes, when I say the Western culture has dented our society, it has. But we should, as I said, we have to change with changing times. Otherwise, we lag behind in competition with the world towards progress and development. But we have to change without losing our core values of our Sanskriti. And we have not lost or forgotten the core values of our Sanskriti, but only it has caused, Western culture has caused dent to Bharatiya Sanskriti, and we have to remove it. Now, in the other thing that I want to say is that there is science in the making of jewelry also. Not every kind of jewelry, but specifically I want to talk about one particular jewelry. This is called the Navaratna jewelry. In the making of this Navaratna jewelry, the arrangement of all the 9 gemstones are present in this jewelry. The arrangement is such that the order should not be disturbed, because when these 9 gemstones, the Navaratnas, are placed in their respective places in the order meant for them, it is believed they evoke cosmic powers of celestial bodies of heavenly nature. That means they have their own effect on our body and personality. That is the reason why we wear birthstone in our ring. In these Navaratnas, there are 2 planets called Rahu and Ketu, which are called the shadow planets because they cause eclipse. Now, how is this arrangement of Navaratnas? The center stone is ruby, red color, that is representing Surya Bhagavan, the sun god. The early morning sun rays, the radiance is orange color turned into red. So the red color, that means ruby stone, represents Surya Bhagavan, that is the center stone. And all other gemstones, they go around the ruby stone in their particular order. Now, suppose your Rashadhipati is Surya, then wear ruby stone in your finger ring. That is your birthstone. Shukra ho, wear diamond. Buddha ho, wear emerald. Moon ho, wear pearl. Shani ho, wear Neelamani, blue sapphire. Rahu ho, wear gomed. Ketu ho, wear cat's eye, Vaidurium. Kuja ho, wear pagada, that is coral. In this way, all the gemstones, they have their own effect. That is the reason why we wear these gemstones in accordance with our Kundali Rashi. We wear the birthstones in our finger ring. That is one thing. In the end, in conclusion, I want to say so many things. First of all, we need reforms in very many ways, and we want a revival to restore and bring back the glory to Sanatana Dharma, Indian culture, that is Bharatiya Sanskriti. For that, from where should we start for these reforms? In my opinion, yes, the change should start from the letter I in inverted commas. If everyone believes that I should change first, then the society will change rapidly towards progress and development. So the letter I in inverted commas, from there we should start. When I say this, I understand fully well that I have changed first. I have to change first because when all of us know Hindi to some extent, why am I speaking in English? I have to get over this drawback of not able to speak in Hindi in webinars like this. I will certainly work in that direction and improve my knowledge in Hindi. The second thing is that we have to remove the dent caused to our Bharatiya Sanskriti. The third one is that we have to give precedence to Hindi language as link language, as this is our Indian language and more widely spoken Indian language in our country, India. And English is not our language, it is a foreign language. So we have to give importance and priority and precedence to Hindi language over English to make it as a link language. But at the same time, all Indian languages should live gloriously forever. All Indian languages should live gloriously forever. All Indian languages should live gloriously forever and no compromise there. And secondly, the Indian culture, Bharatiya Sanskriti, should flourish full-fledgedly and live gloriously forever and forever. And we have to promote Indian attire. Otherwise, it will disappear from the subcontinent after 1 or 2 generations for lack of patronage. When I say Indian attire, every Indian state is rich in this. Sometimes the attire is the same, worn in different styles. Welcome everything. Sometimes in some states, the attire itself is different, but yet it is Indian attire. All state attires, all put together only in one word is Indian attire. And we have to give promotion to this attire. Otherwise, as I said, it may disappear from the subcontinent for lack of patronage. And we should not allow it to happen. But I don't foresee any such thing also, but for that, we need to give promotion to Indian attire. Give patronage to the wearing of Indian attire. The other thing that I want to say is that restore dignity to the words Mata Pita in our native languages. Ma, Amma, Pita, Papa, Nana, Baba, Appa, Achan. However you call your parents in your native language, call only like that only. Why have we compromised to the extent that we address our parents also in foreign language, Videshi Pukar, Mummy, Daddy, Mom? Why compromise to that extent? No, definitely not agreeable. So we have to restore dignity to the words Mata Pita in our respective languages. No compromise there also. But in the end, what I want to say is that to do all this work is not a simple thing, it's not a simple job. It's a kind of Mahayajnam which no one person can do it alone. All of us together only have to do it. Whosoever can do how much, let them contribute only that much. But we need contribution from each and every person in this country. Only every droplet of water puts together only becomes Mahasagar. So any contribution from anyone in this direction in the revival and to bring glory to our Indian languages and Sanskriti is a welcome, and we all should do it collectively. If we don't understand each other in this regard, no person, no one will come from anywhere to do us the needful. No favors from anyone, never ever, never ever. We only have to understand each other. It is not that we are talking today and tomorrow our priority changes. Yes, there are many other things importantly on a daily basis we have to do, but we have to do this job with conviction and continuity. Then definitely we should be able to bring all the kinds of reforms we want in this direction. But how to accomplish this task. For that, the answer is in Swami Vivekananda's words. I want to conclude my talk by quoting Swami Vivekananda as to how to accomplish this task of bringing glory to Indian languages and bringing glory and revival to Bharatiya Sanskriti, Indian culture. To quote Swami Vivekananda, arise, awake, and sleep not until the goal is reached. Dhanyavad. Thank you.